Hello and welcome to leg 7 of my trip across America and the Atlantic from Seattle over to Ireland. This leg is going to be from Sault ste Marie to North Bay, which is kind of directly north of Toronto. Again, it's another 210-ish nautical mile journey, so let's get going. Close the doors. I also have some passengers on this one again, so let's get them loaded in an FSEconomy. They're loaded, which means fuel is also loaded. Let's get the engine started. Nobody around, so fuel pumps on, masters on, fuel cutoffs on. Let's set that before I forget about it. Start the left engine. Start the right engine up to about 1,000 RPM. Should have had my lights on. So I'm actually not long finished my previous leg. So my oil temperature is fairly high already. So let's get, that did not sound good. Needs a bit of oil. Let's get going. I have my flight plan plugged in. Say it's distance of 211 miles. What way is the wind blowing? No, I'm not taking off and then this runway. But I think this plane will take off just fine. A half runway, so I'm going to go up here and turn left into the wind and take off. Turn on the landing light from here. I'm then going to fly at, let's do an initial 7,000. Initial climb of 500 feet per minute. So we're all clear. Let's just turn on to the active runway and throttle up. Airspeed is alive. Oh, I think it's actually just lifted off itself. So gear travels. There's over 90 knots. Flaps up. And we're just over 600 feet, so let's turn on the autopilot. GPS engaged. Flight level control 90 knots. So flaps are up, gear is up, fuel is set. Okay, good to go. As well, like the little aircraft, you can take off in half runways quite easily. So again, like my previous legs, I am going to be using time compression once I get up to cruising altitude until the top of the descent again. Definitely is where I miss the high wing aircraft. You get a nice view of the ground. I'm doing quite a bit of flying in my Cessna 208. And I suppose the Q400 and Phenom 300, that the wing is behind you so you get a good view of the ground. I just have a big engine nacelle here, can't see much. Anyway, concentrate on what I'm doing. All looks good. Sunglasses are on. Let's do a flyby then. So in the last leg, I did have to drop down to about 6,000 feet. But I'm hoping I can go a bit higher this time. In fact, you know, son, I might climb right out to about, let's see, I'm going east, so about 11,000. That's about as high as I can go without putting on an oxygen mask. Should actually take us up above the cloud layer. Although I do have a nice tailwind at the minute. Actually, it's a reasonable crosswind whenever you look at the angle of it. See if climbing any higher makes it any better. The speed is dropping off. Crosswind speed is slowly dropping off as I climb. So this is saying an hour and 55, 200. It should take about an hour and 20 minutes, I think. Rough mental maths. So I assume these are lakes, which means that they are freshwater, even though they're the size of some oceans. This is the fun of flight sim, going and flying places you've never been before and don't know anything about. You suddenly start asking yourself questions and go and look them up later. The clouds here, see there's a few clouds there that I was flying under earlier. Now up above those, I want to stay below this layer though. I think I should, there's 8,000 feet, it should be okay. Gonna have to shallow off my climb a bit here. Crosswind's definitely dying off slowly. There's obviously the main shipping lanes between the two lakes. Maybe even 3 lakes. Yeah, it maybe joins all 3 of them up actually. Okay, we're nearly at altitude. I think it's about 12,000 feet that the game models in hypoxia. Uh-oh. My bad, I have multiple controls mapped to the throttle. So as much as flying on GPS, I am technically VFR. So there I am up to altitude. Level off, pick up some speed, and then I'll pull back the power slightly. The crosswind has picked up a little bit again. Getting almost, well, no, okay. Ground speed's over 160 knots, 170. So there we go, we've got an hour's flight time. Let's do some time acceleration. Bring that down to about 25 minutes. Just still 35 or 40, counting descent and taxi. Now that we are up here, okay, now what I'm going to do is back to normal time. Now what I want to do is activate the approach. This didn't work well the last time. I want to activate the approach. Good, it didn't spin 180 degrees. Purple line is still there. I've got a top of descent. Okay, I don't know why that didn't work the last time. Get our heading bugs set to the direction we're traveling just in case. So top of descent is in 50 minutes, so about 9, 10, so about 10 minutes before that it's the next waypoint. So back in my time acceleration. This is more like what I thought Canada would be. Miles and miles of forests and lakes. It's strange that over the west hand side there's so many farms. Okay, we're actually above this cloud layer. Can't really go any higher. Well, I could put on my oxygen mask. Now, that's a good question. Is there oxygen for the passengers? Yeah, that's the oxygen port in the roof. I'm not convinced there's anything for the passengers. Oh, maybe there is. There is, okay. Good to know. So what is that, the weather radar? I'm assuming it's broken. So where is Toronto then? Yeah, it must be down here. If this layer of cloud gets any thicker, I'm going to have to drop down below it. "40 minutes away." I think I'm too far away still. Yeah, can't pick up the ATIS. Now, temperature's starting to get a bit low and we're getting some clouds, so I'm going to turn on the heaters. Pitot heat is on. Oh, let's pull back the power to 83%. There we go. Might be able to do 84. There we go. That'll do. Fuel flow of 8 in each engine. 8 gallons per hour. So 124.9. Didn't hear that. Was that 2982, I think? Was 2982. That's a huge difference. Departing, arriving runway 36 or 31. What did I say? Oh, I said 26. Not changing it. No, okay, I should. 36 or 31. Right, before we go any further, time compression off. I want to do a delete approach. And then I want to don't do that. I'm going to put the approach back in again to 3. What does it mean, 3631? There is no 31. Anyway, I now want to activate approach. Okay, we wiggle in the middle. So there we go, we've got a top of descent. And in, okay, 90-degree left and in. Set our heading bug, our speed is okay. Fuel flow is okay. Plenty of fuel. Okay, back to some time acceleration. 20, yeah, I'm still going to stop at about 10 minutes. to our ETE. I'll fly the last 10 minutes in a normal time. So it's interesting that said that there's clouds at 4,000. They look like a lot more than 4,000. My frame rate has suddenly dropped way down. Maybe because I'm using time compression. So Toronto is way out that way somewhere. Can't really see, but on the shore of the lake there somewhere. So all you pilot folk out there, are you allowed to fly VFR like this, i.e. above a very thin layer of clouds that are where I'm still seeing the ground enough to navigate? Or do you have to be below that layer of clouds? Obviously I've got my GPS set, so it doesn't really matter, but if I was doing proper VFR flying, there's still large gaps in the clouds that I can see, follow roads, see ground features, just the occasional wee wispy cloud flying beneath me. I don't know what their actual rules are. So there's 18 minutes. Now the clouds are starting to get a bit thicker, so I'm considering, in fact, I'm going to set my altitude to be back down to 6,000 feet. If the cloud, this looks like a lot of cloud coming up. So yes, I'm going to descend. Get down before this layer of cloud gets too thick. Pull the power back to about 70% just to maintain my speed. Back to maybe even 60%. So that's just dropping into the clouds. So the top is about 9,500 feet. I think I could go to 7. In fact, you know, from here, I'm going to go right down to about 3. Just because we're nearly there and the scenery is nice. Pull the power back down to 50%. So what is, what does that say, 2,500? Let's go right down to our 2,500, get down there early. Actually, I'm not going to be that early, judging by the line. Just tail off my descent a little bit. Yeah, that looks good there, actually. Should have had my taxi light on. Oh, here, there's 7 minutes. Said I was going to stop my time acceleration about 10. Okay, fuel is on. Fuel quantity is good. Everything else looks to be in the green. Yep, all looks good. So I'm coming up here and hanging a hard left-hand turn. Be hitting the approach and hopefully hitting the glide slope on the way through. So I'll get the landing light on before I hit the turn. And I'll maybe even... how far is it? 5. Okay, so it's still 5, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, it's still 14 miles, so I'm not going to drop the flaps too early this time. Yeah, so this is still about 14 miles. Doesn't look like 14 miles. Oh, in fact, what's going on here? Ah, okay, that's what's 14 miles. Okay, so I'm definitely not dropping the flaps. So I'll come up, that'll bleed off the speed around that corner. Okay. So we're actually doing a right-hand turn. Oh, 3,800. Should actually be 3,800 feet at this point. So the melee. Okay, that's good. I'm at the right altitude. Oh, did I get... Yes, North Bay 2982. Let's set this. 32. My speed back up again, so climb back up to 3,800 feet. There's North Bay. So what's this lake? Nippis. Am I pissing? I don't know. Nipsing. I don't know, is that a French word? I don't know. Imagine being an early settler, tramping through a forest to be met by one of these big lakes. They're so big they must have thought they were oceans and thought it was strange that they're not salt water. So the airport I'm landing at is probably that one. And I'll probably be landing at this runway, it looks like. quite short. It's very short. Let me have a quick look at my nav maps. Oh yes, it's very short. It is 4,000 feet long. Which is totally fine for this little thing. So I'm confused then. What is this 3631? Arriving runway 3631. There is no runway 31. Parting runways, plural 3631. Is no 31. Oh, there is. Okay. The grass strip. Okay. Yeah, definitely 36. Yep, put in 36. That's okay. Probably actually that little bit of strip will be 31. We could land on that, but I'm not going to. This really reminds me of the sort of place I want to live, or maybe retire to is a better way of putting it, because I don't know what you would do as a job. Balloons. I do not know what you would do as a job. But lots of forests and lakes to go sailing, and I'm sure it's not nice in the winter though. I know Toronto gets a lot of snow. And this is much further north than Toronto. So I'm sure this is pretty wild in the winter. Uh-oh. Direct to, why would that work? Direct to there. Now I want to be down at 3,000 feet. So we'll mess that up a little bit. 2,500 feet actually. Yeah, it didn't like that turn, so it didn't. Right, before things get busy, let's turn on the landing light. Not sure what that's supposed to be. Ooh, now. Oh no, I'm high, that's okay. That's okay. So turn on the approach. Bleed a bit of speed off. Runway's in sight. Let's get down to our first stage of flaps. And then speed up again. Now 70% power. Still below the glide slope. $2,500. It should pick up the glide slope. On my way through, I hope. GP still selected. Diamond's dropping. At my desired altitude, 600 feet. Diamond is dropping. There we go. Acquired the glide slope. So we're now heading down. So put up the power to 80. Drop the undercarriage. Three green. Now let's see, whenever I land in here, looks like I want to take a right-hand turn. This looks like it's going to clip these trees quite shallow. So landing lights on, we've got plenty of fuel. Our engines are okay. Now again, pilots, should I be in crossfeed for landing and takeoff? You go and read the manual. Okay, so we're now down to just over a mile. Let's pull back the speed. So autopilot yaw damper off.
400.
Last stage of flaps goes down. Got a little bubble up. That's okay. Now I need to watch my speed. I'm getting fairly slow. I'm low as well. Speed. I need more speed. Absolutely cannot bleed off any more speed.
100.
Oh, that was a bit solid. It's okay. Now I'm staying over to the left hand side, so I'm going to spin to the right. Didn't go as far as I thought it was going to. I assume there will be a taxiway in here somewhere. Take this one. I only have buttons for brakes, so I can't brake smoothly, unfortunately. There's a nice big open hangar. Let's drive into that. Oh, bit of a bump. Not often you see an open hangar, so. That was closer than I thought it was going to be. Oh. I appear to be driving in mud. Going into the hangar wasn't a great idea then. Okay. Cutoffs off. Pitot heat should have been off. Temperature should have been off. Masters and our lights. There we go. That's us down in North Bay. Thanks for joining me. Let's see if we can get a picture. Do a bit there. Join me next time. I will be going to, let me check my list, North Bay, Ottawa. So we've got Ottawa, Quebec City, then Goose Bay, and then we'll be leaving the Americas for Greenland. But until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.